All right. Well, hello again. How are you guys doing?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
Good. What about you, Katrina?
I'm doing good. Just feel like I'm running last minute this morning.
Yep. Aren't we all? Yeah. Anyways, I planned to get up like at 5, and it just never happened. So it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I know that, like I was saying right before this, I've seen you, Rex, in Sub 2 every so often for the past couple of years. But who are you guys? What do you do? What's your elevator pitch?
Yeah. So I joined Subto actually January of 2023.
Oh,
So just 13, 14 months ago or so is when I first joined. Prior to that, I had a tree service business. So I grew up in like the lawn care type space. So I've built and sold some small businesses in the past,
mm,
and then always wanted to get into real estate. But the struggle I was having is I'd never had a bank mortgage before. And all of your bigger pockets videos and podcasts are saying, save up your 25%, go down and get an FHA loan, move every year. And
yep.
when I started hearing that, I'm like, how am I going to do that? I can't even go get a bank mortgage for a car, let alone a house. So, but at that time, I didn't know any other way, even though I had bought property on seller finance. So I bought previous stuff, but I just hadn't made the connection into like real estate as a business.
Mhm.
So I heard about one of my brothers sent me a video of Pace in like November, December of 2022. And that's where everything changed for me. That's when I'm like, okay, this is a reality. This can actually happen sooner than I expected.
Wow, that's cool.
So that's that's kind of the story of us getting started into the real estate from where we was.
Okay. And I know you had talked about that the tree business. Oh, Katrina, were you gonna add on to that at all?
Oh, I don't. There's a whole lot of details in there. There's a whole lot of
Exactly. Yeah,
story.
that's where I was gonna
Um,
go with. Where you guys had sent me your website, and I was reading through it and just looking through it, and I was like, oh my god, you guys had so much. You have or you at least you had a child, and then you had these border collies, and then a whole farm, and all these animals. Like, how was that? And then going into all of this now, it seems like a big change.
yeah. So, wow. I don't. It's hard looking back because you don't even know where to start really. But yeah, neither of us, we've always lived in the country on lots of acreage. We had 45 acres and always had animals. That was kind of our life. Was
Mhm.
we were ranchers and I love the dogs. Dogs are very important to me. I love my border collies. We raised and trained them and trialed them and won lots of trials, won lots of buckles, stock dog trials, so cattle and sheep. And um, I would say the real estate thing really kicked off for us when I I got on the same page with Rex. So I feel like before that happened, we were very spread out. So he was working really hard on his tree business. Leave early in the morning, come home late at night, and then at night was when he had time to like look into this real estate stuff and learn more about it. And so, he'd watch videos or listen to podcasts or read books, and that left me to do all the dog stuff. Like
Yeah.
I was the one that had to take care of the dogs and train the dogs, and so I was doing that all on my own. And previous to that, we did like the dog stuff together. And I realized that that was a lot of where my joy came from, was doing stuff together. And so I felt I didn't feel fulfilled. We were just we were so separate, you know. He was really focused on trying to grow something, and then, you know, I was just running a farm, and I had my daughter, and then I was pregnant again as well. And so I really felt like we were just kind of going our opposite directions. And I knew, like, that's not well, we really both enjoy working together. We really complement each other well. So I'm like, we have to figure out how to combine this. And then the more I started learning about real estate, the more I became passionate about it too. And so once I learned about it, I'm like, this is really cool. When I get passionate about something, I want to go all in. So I got to that point, and I think that's kind of what really kicked it off for us was just us, both getting on the same page, and we're like, we need to just go for it. We were too spread out to really focus on it, so that's why we came to the decision to sell our 45 acres and all of our animals and move to a subdivision, which we've never lived in. Never lived in town before. Wow. We were the radicals. We were like, let's just sell everything and move to town.
Oh my gosh, that's great. I've only lived in town. Like I'm from LA, and right now I'm in Houston, so I've like never been to farmland really. So it's crazy that that's just like, wow, you guys, it was the opposite. Wow, that's
Yeah.
and I really like that you also found a passion or like an interest in real estate. I didn't have it growing up either. My mom was really interested in it, but it never really translated. So once I also started watching Pace and really understanding like all the different fields within the general real estate field, I was like, oh my god, this is so interesting. Like it's like you can go into real estate, you can go into taxes, you can go into so many things, and I'm like, oh okay. Um, but yeah, that's really cool. So I had actually been a part of a seminar in Orlando sometime last year. I think it was about multifamily, and one of the questions the speaker had for everybody was, you know, raise your hand if your spouse isn't supportive of, you know, you trying to go into multifamily. And there were a lot of hands raised, and that seemed not great because if one isn't supportive, especially with something as big as like, you know, going into this field, like how can you even succeed? So you know, question kind of for you guys going into that was, how did you realize what your strengths and weaknesses were and how you guys complemented each other? Was it ever like a discussion, or was it like small situations where you realized, oh okay, you know, I'm better at this, or was it just kind of innate?
Yeah. So when I joined it, joined Subto, it was kind of my thing. And Katrina really wasn't involved in it. She had an interest in it for sure, but I kind of pushed her away, not meaning to, you know, just not even realizing I was doing it. I was just kind of focused on my thing and kind of pushing her away, keeping her out of it, which wasn't what I meant to do, and I didn't even realize I was doing it. So once we got on the same page, there is really when stuff started to change for us. But far as complimenting each other, and I think that's just been more kind of trial and error a little bit. Like I don't hardly know how to run a computer, and she knows how to run a computer somewhat. So
Oh my god.
you know,
just naturally fell into that role.
Just kind of automatically kind of fell into that role.
But I enjoy I've kind of always been this way, even as a little kid. When I get on something, I want to see it grow. Like I don't really have an idea of like where I want to take it at the time, but I just know that I want to do it to the best of my ability. Like I want to take it and put it into something big, right? And that's just, I've always been a little bit better at like the behind the scenes, the systems, and you know, there's like the face of the business, right? And getting behind that person and just kind of pushing them forward. So, and I'm kind of a extreme person where, I'll I'll either take the action or I won't. And so I think I saw when we were first starting out, I'm like, we just need to take action. Like we just need to do it. We just need to, you know, for us, as far as like getting our first deal, like we're not going to get our first deal if we're not talking to anyone. So we just need to get on the phone and talk to people. And so I was kind of the one that took that first step in a sense. So like I will go on the front end a little bit, but like I went on the front end long enough to like encourage Rex to do it, and then I'm like, okay, it's your deal now. I'm like, I lined up all these. I'm like, I scheduled all these phone. I talked to these people and just had a chatty conversation with them, and I told him you would call him back later and pitch the deal to him. So that's how I pushed him into doing it, and then he took it from there.
That's funny. Just,
That
that's funny.
part of it. That part of it. So yeah, at first I did a bunch of stuff, and then I took a step back from everything for several months just to work on my mindset. And we did get our first investment deal just through connections of mine. But is where stuff actually started to get more consistent and start picking up is, yeah, she got started in it. And then she's like, hey, I scheduled all these meetings for you. And so then once I started following up with all these people, then I just got in the rhythm of doing it, and I enjoyed it.
That's good. That's funny. Do you know KJ and Joseph Mudd?
No.
So they're another.
I know their names.
Yeah, they're another couple in Subto. They're my partners. I'm actually staying with them, and that's exactly what they do. Or KJ, you know, she's the one that like initially networks with people, and then she's like, let me schedule you a call with my husband, and that's like all they do. So it was a joke. Yeah, now I'm like, oh my god, it's real. That is hilarious. So what was the reason why you decided to sell the whole farm and the tree business and to even get into real estate in the first place?
So I had talked about it previously, but it was going to be such a big change for us. I got a little baby here.
Totally fine.
It was going to be such a big change for us that it was something totally different. I never known that. I've always lived in the country. We've always had 1,000 different animals on our farms, ranches, you know. So it was going to be something so different that I just wasn't sure that I wanted to take that step. But I was listening to, I guess, one of the daily dials actually in the morning, and Marlon Johnson was talking about focus, cut out everything that isn't getting you focused on what you're wanting to accomplish. Cut out all the distractions, focus on one thing. And when I heard that, I'm like, okay, is that kind of what we need to do here? Is that what we are failing at doing? Is because we had so many things going on, we just couldn't get focused on one thing. And I don't so much recommend this to everybody, just to up and quit everything to get into real estate. You know, but it's worked so far, you know, for us. And coming to that decision, it was like, okay, we can sell everything off, and then we'll be focused 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 hours a day or whatever, just on the real estate. And it was a tough decision to come to, but it was a good decision.
When Rex originally threw out that idea more as a joke, just like, oh, we should sell everything and move to town. And I'm just like, oh, that's funny, that's cute. But I was pregnant again, yeah, with my second, and so we were living in an RV. So we lived in an RV for 3.5 years. And I was just kind of miserable, you know. I had the toddler I was watching, and then I was pretty sick just because I get really sick with my pregnancies. And then, yeah, keeping up on the dogs and we weren't doing stuff anymore. And he planted that seed. So he was really smart. He was just like, oh, just threw the idea out there, didn't really push it. But it planted the seed, and it just kind of started growing in my mind. I'm like, it would be really nice to live in a house. And then, I had started studying Pace Morby stuff alongside of Rex more, and it really started clicking for me. I'm like, oh, I understand this. And this is totally possible for us to do. Like, we can absolutely succeed at this. Everything we've ever done together, we've just succeeded very well at. And so I knew we had that track record already. And so I had confidence in ourselves, but I was like, so what you said a few weeks ago, I'm like, what if we did just sell everything to town? I think it kind of caught you off guard. Because he was like a little taken back at first. He's like, I don't know if we actually want to do that. He's like, that'd be a big change, like a drastic change for our family. It would kind of change the course of our lives forever. So,
the part I had to work through the most was not raising kids on a farm for the next couple years. Our daughter was 2 years old or something, at the time, and that's all she'd ever know. She loved the ranch life. She loved that,
She loved all of our dogs. She knew them all by name. She's like 2 years old. Wow. She'd go down there and call all of them by their name, and she loved them. She loved working up. She loved the sheep. And so, being that we both grew up ourselves as country kids, we really wanted that for our kids. It's really near and dear to our hearts. And then, our daughter McKady had kind of grown up in that a little bit. So that was a very, I guess, serious decision on our part. It's like, oh wow, if we do this, we're going to be pulling our kids away from it for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think we did it with the goal, and we did it. We're like, okay, we're gonna go for it, and we're gonna succeed so well that we can get back out in like 3 years, 2-3 years. And so that was kind of.
Yep, that was it. Yeah. Yep, just knowing that we will succeed at this.
We didn't give ourselves the option to not succeed.
Nice.
Basically.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I like that it went from, kind of a black and white thing, like, okay, well, we either stay and we don't do it, or we go, and then you have to leave everything that you love behind. But I like that, you reverted back to, no, we're gonna come back to it. It's fine. We're gonna give ourselves this timeline and truly believe in yourself. And that is, that's really good. I was watching, or my mom is really big into a lot of like manifesting and just videos. So there was one clip that she had sent me, and I forgot who exactly was speaking, but they were saying, like, look at the Kardashians. What do they do? What talents do they have, other than really believing in themselves and just like they're their own brand, because they're like, it's me, but I believe that I'm, what I'm worth, whatever, and then that's how they get, whatever lines they have through clothes or makeup brands. And I think that's truly important to even teach kids as well. Like, if you don't believe in yourself, how do you think you're going to achieve anything? So.
Yep, absolutely.
I don't want my kids to ever ask me the question of, Dad, why didn't you follow your dreams? Dad, why didn't you believe you could actually go do this stuff?
We tell our kids that. I think probably everybody, for the most part, should or does or should tell their kids, to follow their dreams and go after them, and just take them to the limit. Do it to the best of their ability. And then as adults, I think we kind of lose that. Like, well, it's just, it's not possible, or I wasn't, like me, I had dreams of showing horses, and as far as like, ranch horses, reining horses, and also doing the dog stuff, which we did do, once I got married. But like I could have just been like, well, I didn't grow up because I grew up more just like farm stuff. We didn't necessarily have dogs or a lot of horses. And so I was more dairy. My family had a dairy farm. And so I could have been like, oh, I don't know what to do with dogs. Like it's just, I'll just keep doing what I do know and that stuff. And but I did. We got into the dogs and we succeeded very well at it. And then like what Rex said, you help me out with my thoughts.
As in, you don't want.
You
don't.
If anything, we're proving to ourselves and we're proving to everyone else that you can. You don't have to give up on that stuff. Even if someone just incorporates a little bit of it into their life at a time,
like for someone to, tell me that, like I had the mindset of I would never be able to get into real estate when I first started learning about real estate. Because about 2.5 years ago, I read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I started learning about investing. And then I started learning about real estate. But like even to this day, I've never had a bank loan, never. And in the last 12 months, we bought over $3 million of real estate. And I've never had a bank loan, not even for a vehicle, not even for nothing. So just realizing like this stuff is actually possible. If you actually put your mind to it, it's pretty amazing what you can actually achieve.
Yeah.
And actually, but you got to believe in yourself, and it's 99% of it's right here. It's just mindset and actually really believing that you can actually do it.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the whole mindset behind it, and we proved to ourselves, a person, when you're just looking at it, you don't know anything about it. We knew nothing about real estate. We both didn't grow up in families that did real estate at all. They didn't even do debt at all. Like, very conservative. You don't buy it if you don't have the money for it. We lived bare minimum. You scrape by, right? And so when you're first starting to look into something as big as real estate, it seems very daunting. And I think it's really hard for people today, and it was for us, to just really dedicate your mind to thinking about it. Just, study it, think about it, push through, persevere. It's really hard to focus our minds on things. But anybody can get creative, anybody can figure stuff out. And so it's just the matter of pushing through that initial mind block, because you have to elevate your mind to think outside the box and to realize that, wow, I'm totally capable of this.
Yeah. And of course, it would be Marlon that would be the one to really make that shift. He's so good at that. The mindset king, man.
Yeah.
So other than, I guess, that being able to shift your thinking into, just because I haven't done this before doesn't mean I can't do it. What else has real estate taught you, or what else has real estate been able to give to you guys that you haven't had before?
It's been a whole journey, as far as what we can do now. From our day to day, we never had that option before.
Do what?
As far as work together as a family, as a team, really work together. We never had that option before. So that has done a ton for us. But it's not so much about the real estate or about the money that a real estate can make you. It's really about the person that you have to become to build what you're looking to build.
Mm-hmm.
It's that is the journey that is so addicting. is when you realize that you can become a person that 99% of people will never become, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in business, doesn't matter what it is, just, whatever kind of business. It's the journey to become the person that you have to become to accomplish what you want to accomplish.
How did you make that shift into realizing that?
As in to realize it's about the person you have to become.
More, I guess, realizing what kind of person you have to become, because I wasn't expecting that either. I wasn't expecting to go more into personal development as I went into this field, but like as I was reading some books and as I was really looking at these types of people, actually, for me, what made that shift in my mind of like, oh, I have to start being a different way, and this is the way I want to be. I think I had seen some clip with someone saying that she had gone to some sort of church retreat, and it was a group of girls in a circle, and so they told the girls, write down your perfect man and write down like literally everything you would want in him, it, just everything. And this girl had written everything, and she was thinking, oh, they're gonna try to trick us or something, so I'm just gonna like make sure I go extra into detail about what I want. And then the coordinators told them, okay, now do you think you're worthy of that type of guy, or do you think that you're somebody that they would go for? And I think the girl in the video or whatever I was reading, she wasn't of the mindset, so she just thought like, oh, they tricked me. But for me, it was like, oh my god, that's exactly it. Like I wasn't being as introspective as I would want to. I was just kind of living life. But if I want a certain lifestyle, if I want a certain partner, if I want certain whatever it is, I have to be the type of person that would have that life. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that's so true. I feel like you just explained it very, very well. It's true. It's, if me and Rex, we want to be successful people, and we want to be successful people so we can help a lot of people out and actually build something for our kids and their kids. If we want to do that, you have to become the person that can do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stay the same person.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we've just kind of gotten addicted to the future versions of ourselves. You have people that say, okay, who are you going to be, just business aside and all that stuff, like who are you going to be in 5 years? Who do you want to, who do you, put yourself in the 5-year self and tell yourself like what you've accomplished.
Yeah.
And what like your personal growth has been and stuff. And that's been really life-changing for us. Neither of us really grew up with personal development stuff like that. You just live and work and do your thing, right? You don't focus on really, really changing yourself and bettering yourself. And it's like we've been given this life, right? God has blessed us by giving us this life here on this earth, and it is our responsibility to live it to the best of our ability. Like so many people, take us for example, like we never thought to just be like, wow, whatever we do, whether it's business or marriage or parenting, showing dogs, talking to somebody, whatever we do, we like really actually need to do it to the best of our ability. And I think a lot of people don't realize the extent that can be taken to. I always heard that, oh, do everything the best you can. But like, I feel like no one really exemplified that for me until I started getting around higher mindset, higher level people. And it's like, oh, wow, my eyes are now open to what that actually means. The stuff they're doing to, really actually go for it and really pushing hard to like live their life to the best ability, to help as many people out as they can, and to like have a good marriage and be good parents. Like they're going all out for it, and they're putting a lot of work into making that happen. And it's just been great role models and ideas for us to see and follow. Like that's like, okay, that's who we want to become as well.
That's awesome. And so what exactly do you, or if you can elaborate when you're saying, you know, you want to be able to help more people, what does that look like?
More, yeah. So that was one of the reasons we got into the real estate, is to be able to give us more opportunity to help more people. You know, I want to help people on a financial level, you know, learn actually how to be, you know, be better financially, be more well off financially than most people are, because I see that as it's such a struggle, and over the next 5 years it's going to get even more of a struggle, I think. But I think really is what it comes down to, is just helping people to start investing in themselves, showing people the need to invest in themselves, to invest in their mindset, to invest in becoming that best person, you know, that they can be. The rest will follow. The rest will come, you know. But most people in this world, or, you know, a lot of people in this world are kind of like a, you know, a poor me kind of, you know, mindset. And if a person can just get over that, there's nothing that they can't accomplish.
Yeah.
And so it's, I guess, really just showing people what's possible for them.
And and it's a snowball effect, right? I mean, just real estate alone, you can help out so many people. We've helped people out of pre-foreclosure. You know, we've helped people get out from underneath their properties. You know, we've had so many we've helped out agents. You know, we've helped out and then people that have bought properties from us or rented properties from us, right? Real estate's cool that way, in that you get paid to help people. You know, we've been able, like, it's just unlimited the number of people you can help. So it's just, we're very blessed in that sense where, yeah, our business is helping people. And I think it goes deeper for us too, like Rex was saying, and as well as we really want to be a voice out there. We see it especially, you know, we're a young married couple, and there's a lot of young married couples out there, and it just, life seems pretty impossible. Like we were there. It's just like there's no hope. We can never get ahead in life. We're just going to be working and working and working and not getting anywhere until we die, basically. And, you know, a lot of couples, I mean, we were there. You can't even afford a house. You can't even get a house. And we're really starting to see that, like, in our sphere of people, you know, just there's a lot of young couples who just, you know, they don't know how to get a house. And we were, you know, we did. We proved, like, that it can be done, and we want to teach. We want to help other young people, especially, I think, people in our our community of, like, ranching and country folks. Yeah.
Bring him in.
That it's totally possible to grow something. Like, yeah. And just teach people, you know, teach people about creative finance, right? That's kind of our guru. And so that's really what we're focusing on and stuff. And just, yeah, if people want to learn about it, you know, teaching people that, and, like, it's, the opportunities are endless. You know, we help people by buying their homes, and we help people by renting out the homes. You know, we've started up our property management business as well. And then we help people, you know, people that want to earn better returns on their money. You know, we get to help those people out too, invest their money. And so it's just cool. Like, the opportunities are endless, but we want to really make an impact in people's lives. So the mindset part of it and just the life part of it, you know, we're really trying to be present and just let people watch our journey. I want them to look back at our journey and think we could do this too. You know, it's possible. and just being real and raw. And then also, be able to be just a big thing for me, I would say, Rex, too, is be able to have the resources to really do, you know, if the need arises, to be able to have the resources to make a big impact on something that needs the financial resources. Because I've always wanted to do that. You know, there's an organization, there's a cause, there's a charity that could really use like some financial resources behind it. But I didn't have the resources to give to that. And, you know, there's other ways you can give to stuff like that. But I really wanted, it seems like, you know, investors are a lot, there's a lot of the times behind these things that, these big impacts that happen, a lot of times it's because an investor got behind it and funded it. And for us, I think that's kind of where we really see our mission and purpose is, being the people behind the people on the front lines and making sure they have the resources to do what they need to do.
That's amazing. I love that. Oh my gosh. That's exactly what I want to do for, you know, my mom, and I say this in a lot of my videos, but my mom has her own organization, and it's kind of geared around the youth as well, because she says, you know, I wish I would have had this. I wish I would have had some kind of guidance when I was, you know, their age, when I was a teen, when I was in early 20s, and that kind of seeped into me as I grew up with it and with her saying these kinds of things. And I think that's also, that's turned into my end goal in life as well, to be able to show just anybody, but mainly the younger generation, just because at least right now that's who I relate to more. But I also think that it's easier with the younger generation because they're more, I want to say malleable, but then that sounds manipulative. But I'll say they're less set in their ways, so they're able to be more open to all these opportunities and all the possibilities, and that's just really cool. That like the people that I see that I relate to the most in regards to this, in regards to what you guys are saying, like it would be you, it would be a lot of people in the real estate field, because back home, everywhere else, people are still kind of like how you guys were. You know, they were barely getting by. They were just working to scrape by, and you know that it seems impossible to get out of it until you're out of it.
And then once you're out of it, you get that 1,000-foot view, and you're like, oh, well, I just needed to change my mindset. It actually wasn't that impossible. Yeah. It was me that was the problem. But boy, when you're in it, you're bogged down, like you're held by its clutches. It's like the whole environment around you does not want you to see a way out of it. You know, they want to keep you like that. So breaking out of that is hard, but once you do, I feel like in a way you discover, you just discover a whole new realm of like self-worth as a person, even of just like, wow, like I don't know, so much confidence, I would say, in yourself as well. Like
it's really like a whole new world, you know. You're kind of, when you're kind of stuck in that, it's you see everything from the negative, is what it seems like. And once you get out of that, you see everything from the positive. Yes, there's still not good things that happen, and still negative things that happen, but you see the things from a different side and a different point of view, you know. Like if a contractor takes $10,000 from you, or you lose some money on a property, yes, it's like, oh, I wish that wouldn't have happened. But then again, it's like, oh, I'm actually thankful that did happen, because guess what that taught me from that? And guess how many people in the future I will be able to help out because that happened to me.
Yeah.
you know, so just really see stuff in a different light instead of a poor me that this happened. Be like, I'm thankful I'm in a position that this stuff can actually happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I was stuck in my old ways, I wouldn't even have be in a position for this stuff to happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just the fact, yeah, because, you know, we're putting ourselves out there and, you know, we're in real estate. And so in a way, it's almost a little bit of a surrealness as far as like, you know, wow, we had a property and we were fixing it up, and we never thought we would even be in that position, you know, and to be able to, of course, no one, I mean, it was tough, you know, it's just it's tough for us to lose money. Like that hurts, especially especially when it's a lot of money. But just, yeah, to realize like I never even imagined that I would be in this position to even let a contractor screw me over, because, you know, I was never going to do houses. And realize that, you know, you learn so much from it. And we're out there, you know, learning those lessons for people, so other people hopefully hopefully don't have to go through them themselves. But yeah, also just being thankful that we have the opportunity to mess up. You know, we put ourselves in that situation, like, you know, because of real estate and stuff, and we now have the opportunity to mess up in real estate, and just thankful that, yeah, like Rex said, that we can, you know.
That is so cool as well. I think I have little moments where I kind of think of this, but I really I'm really enjoying our conversation because it's really putting it at the forefront of my mind. Like exactly, I just want to reiterate like everything that you're saying, because it really hits home for me being able to, you know, it's very a serving mentality. It's a very helpful mentality. Everything that you know, especially you guys are saying, I am going through this, and I'm thankful, whether it's positive or negative, to go through it because I can help other people. Not just, you know, I'm buying houses and all of this, and which is also great. And I'm, you know, I'm able to help people buying and selling houses. And then it's just everything that you're doing. It seems like there's always gratitude with it, and I think that's amazing. Everything you're saying, it's pumping me up right now. I'm so motivated.
It's hard sometimes, to be like, oh wow, am I really thankful that that contract fell through, or, you know, that am I, you know, like this, like who's thankful for that, right? Who's thankful to that they lost money or things didn't go exactly how they planned. But and sometimes I feel like I don't really, you know, I really don't figure it out, but I just know that ultimately you go back to, oh, I'm thankful that I'm even in this position that this can happen to me. And it, like I said, we've worked on ourselves so much that we know we can work past it. You know, we've proven to ourselves that it's not, it really isn't, like, it's a big deal, but we're bigger than the big deal. We can work harder. We can go get something else. We can, you know, make that money back. We can do this or do that. Like we've figured out how to unlock that as far as like ourselves as people. You know, we can push past that. We're not limited by that.
Cool. Well, last question that I have for you guys, and kind of shifting gears back to what we were talking about working as a couple. How do you guys? So Alex Hermosi, do you guys know Alex Hermosi?
Somewhat, yep.
Yeah. Him and his wife work together as well. They have a you know, big business, and they've mentioned a couple things. Like one of the things that him and his wife have mentioned is that, you know, it's statistically a couple that has made at least $1 together has, like, you know, an increased amount of, or increased percentage of staying together. So for me, that's just like, oh, okay, that's really cool. I would have thought it would have been the opposite, where if couples work together and then they also live together, like everything, it just seems like it would be too much. And with them, they kind of they combat that by having different roles and working on different aspects in the company. Is that what you guys do, or how do you manage, uh, that having to be around each other all the time and that, I guess.
Yeah. So, and as far as like roles in the business, we're still learning that stuff. We're still figuring it out. For us, we've always enjoyed doing everything together. So to be around each other all day long, that's not a challenge. We love being around each other. We love being around our kids all day long. So like that there is just, we enjoy that.
There's definitely days where we want to strangle each other. And we get in fights and we disagree on things, or we think the other's doing something absolutely ridiculous. But for the most part, the majority of the time, we do just really enjoy working together and being together all day. Like I feel very lost in a sense if Rex is gone, or vice versa. He went to Arizona here this last week, and he was gone for 5 days, and we've never been apart that long. I think the most we've been apart is 1 day.
Oh my gosh.
So that was really different, but we do just really enjoy working together. So we're just home all day working, and I've got the 2 girls that we watch as well, and I'd say we do a pretty good job of just equally balancing out just a lot of the family life, work life. We're just pitching in as the other pitches in where they can, and we make it work. But we do just really enjoy being together, brainstorming throughout the day, being like, hey, you need to take this call, or you need to send out this email, or and I think that'll change as we grow and as our business grows and as we start developing more of a company. But right now it's it's just kind of us doing this. So
Something we've had to, work on in a sense is, and it's just something that's different, when you're husband and wife, the guy goes out and works, the lady goes out and works, whatever it is, both go out and work. Then they come home and then they're married.
Yeah.
But for us, we're business partners, but then we're also married. So that's been something to, not just, there's a point of just of being business partners, but then there's a point of treating each other like you're married as well.
Yeah.
Which brings another aspect into it. You treat each other like your business partners, but then also that there's got to be that time where you treat each other like you're just married as well. So finding that, has been something we've had to work through and work with, and just kind of figure it out as we go.
Yeah, no, I think that that part, Rex, yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. That definitely brings its complications. Just figuring out like when to turn the switch on for business partners and when to turn it off and still like, okay, we're still married, and as a couple, and we've had to figure that out and are still figuring it out. That's probably just going to be an ongoing thing we're working on. But that would be a unique, that is a unique struggle for us, and probably any couple that is married and does business, is how to balance both of that out.
Good luck. I believe in you guys. With the way that I'm envisioning your guys' journey to being where you're at now. You got this, and it seems just like a lot. I don't have a partner, so I wouldn't know yet. But I think that what you guys have described is going on to like just a really great partnership in life, partnership in business, in in parenting and in all of that. I think that's wonderful. I think it's very healthy. Good for you guys.
It is, and it's more, the business has done more for us than just business. It's really grown our marriage. It's really grown us closer together as a couple. It's grown our family and our kids and just other aspects of life. Like, it's our faith. It's cool, like how much it's just reached out into our entire lives.
Yeah, it really has. It has grown us in every way and every area of our lives.
I would say probably, Jared, even at this point, it's not necessarily as much of a business anymore as it is a lifestyle. Like, we're just, in a way, like the business is becoming just our lifestyle. We want to include our kids in that lifestyle. We want them to see the joy in it and experience the joy in it. And I think that's probably something we're going to start exploring a little bit more, is just making our business more of like our lifestyle, like, just because I don't know, when people say like, oh, they have their business and they have their life, like they separate the two. I don't know. I feel like that's something we're probably just recently kind of exploring, is the mesh of those two.
It's having those as integrated. A lot of people, they struggle with this thought of, how do I balance work and family life, or work life, have this work life balance. To me, I don't think there ever really is a work life balance. It's about integrating the two, and not actually having your work life balance.
Oh my gosh, exactly. No, that's a perfect way to put that into words. I think the more that I've seen, or like really tried to study pace, or like I was mentioning Alex Hormozy or anything, especially with the Hormozys, just because I have been, within the last couple of days, I was watching a lot of their content, so that's either top of mind. But his wife, she was saying that, for her, it's difficult to stop and have days where they do content, because that's stopping the whole, like the running the business side of things. And so now she's trying to integrate the things. So what does she do on the daily? She goes for walks. So now they're starting to record whenever she's on a walk. So it's not just, it doesn't have to be separate. And, and I think that really opened my eyes as well to, oh, okay, yeah, maybe it doesn't have to be separate. Maybe if you could figure out how to integrate, it would make things easier, so that you don't have to have time for everything. It's just a little more efficient.
Yeah.
And I think any high level person you watch, it's always integrated. They don't have just a work life balance, their work life and their personal life. Yes, everybody takes some personal time, I think, and to go do stuff, but there isn't that balance. They do it, it's integrated.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. It was really nice to be able to talk to you.
Same. Thank you for inviting us. This was super fun.
I know. Are you guys going to Squat Up?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, cool. Then I'll see you there. Woo!
Yeah.
I was sad that I missed you at the Golden Ticket event.
I know. When you had mentioned it, I was like, I was just there. What?
Yeah.
There's so many people, but I'm so glad. I'm trying to make a list of like everybody that I want to make sure to reach out to when we're over there, so that I talk to everybody.
Being purposeful. Yes.
You guys have a wonderful Saturday. Enjoy the kids. Give them time, and I'll stop taking their parents away from them now.
No, you're good. Thank you so much. Really appreciate this.
Oh, all right. Well, you guys have a wonderful day. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you later. Farewell.
All right. Bye.
Bye.